You think you need to pay to get scared? Think again. This Halloween, 10 PS5 horror games are free for every PlayStation Plus member, and some are completely free for everyone. From cursed mansions to radioactive wastelands, these are the nightmares waiting for you right now in 4K HDR at 60 frames a second. So grab your controller, kill the lights, and let's count down the top 10 free horror games for PS5 this Halloween. A good horror game doesn't just make you scream, it makes you think twice before turning off the console. For this list, we ranked 10 free or PS Plus included horrors from the lowest to highest review scores on Metacritic and IGN. Some are short, poetic nightmares. Others are sprawling survival epics. Every one of them runs great on PS5, with full HDR, DualSense haptics, and 3D audio that'll crawl right into your head. By the end, you'll know which free title deserves your sleepless night. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up to hell. Step back into STEM, a world built from twisted memories and dying dreams. You play as Sebastian Castellanos, a detective chasing his missing daughter inside a collapsing digital nightmare. Every corridor changes when you blink. Every door hides something you probably shouldn't open. Released in 2017 and now included in PS Plus Extra, this sequel expanded everything the first game promised. Bigger maps, stealth options, and emotional stakes. Average playtime sits around 15 to 20 hours. Platinum completion closer to 40. Trophy difficulty? About 7 out of 10 thanks to classic mode and limited saves. On PS5 it runs at 4K, 60 frames per second, with HDR10 support and a 24 GB install. Metacritic scores land in the mid-70s, but fans swear it's the most underrated horror of its generation. IGN called it a grim improvement that turns terror into tragedy. Yes, the dialogue's cheesy and some boss fights drag on. But when it works, it feels like Silent Hill meeting Inception. You can explore, craft, hide, or fight your way through its hellish suburbs, and every choice feels personal. It's free through PS Plus Extra right now, and worth the download if you miss classic survival horror with a modern engine. Sometimes, the real monster is hope itself, and Sebastian has too much of it. If you thought the first Outlast was intense, its sequel throws you straight into religious madness. You're Blake Langerman, a journalist crash-landed in the Arizona desert searching for your wife amid a cult obsessed with the end of days. There are no guns, no weapons, only your camera and a microphone that lets you hear every footstep closing in behind you. Outlast 2 is free for PS Plus Extra members and runs smoothly on PS5 at 4K 60 with HDR support. Expect about 9 hours for the story, 15 if you hunt every collectible. Trophy difficulty hits 8 out of 10 because Insane Mode offers 0 saves. Metacritic averages 78. IGN gave it an 8, calling it horrifyingly beautiful. Sound design is phenomenal. Every scream and whisper echoes like a confession. Yes, it leans on shock value, but the sheer tension never lets up. If you like horror that tests your nerves and stamina more than your trigger finger, this is your baptism by terror. Pro tip, turn off the crosshair and play with headphones. You'll thank me later, or you won't. Welcome to the exclusion zone, where radiation is the least of your problems. Chernobylite mixes sci-fi, survival, and psychological horror inside a beautifully decaying world. You play Igor, a physicist and former Chernobyl employee returning to Pripyat to find his missing fiancée. But time doesn't work right here, and neither does sanity. The Complete Edition bundles every DLC and visual upgrade, running at 4K 60 with ray-traced lighting on PS5. The main story lasts about 20 hours with base building, companions, and multiple endings. File size sits around 40 gigabytes. Metacritic scores hover near 79, with critics praising its atmosphere and ambition, though some found combat clunky. Included in PS Plus Extra, and worth exploring if you like games that blend fear and science. It's not jump scare horror. It's existential dread with a Geiger counter.
Maybe the point is
Every shadow could be a memory,
your story.
or something that remembers you back.
One might
Pack a
ask,
dosimeter, and
what's it
hope
all
your
for?
choices don't mutate the
What's at
future.
stake? The answer is
4 survivors, 1 killer, infinite screams. Dead by Daylight is the asymmetric multiplayer phenomenon that turns every match into a slasher movie. 1 player becomes the monster. 4 others try to escape by repairing generators and opening gates. Every chase feels like a final scene. It's free to play through PS Plus Extra and constantly updated with new killers from Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and even Stranger Things. Performance on PS5 is buttery smooth at 4K 60 with crossplay and cross-progression. File size hovers around 27 gigabytes. Metacritic average is 80. IGN gave it a 7 for gameplay, but an 8 for longevity. What makes it shine is the community. No 2 matches feel the same. It's horror as a sport, and you're the practice dummy. Play with friends to scream together or against them. Either way, you won't last long. Remember, if you hear the heartbeat, you're already dead. A motorcycle, a shotgun, and a world overrun by freakers. Days Gone is Ben Studios' open-world zombie epic, free in the PS Plus Extra catalog and still one of the most underrated Sony exclusives. You play Deacon St. John, a drifter biker searching for hope after the collapse. It's half road trip, half horror survival, and all emotion. The world feels alive. Dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and hundreds of infected on screen at once. PS5 enhancement runs at 4K 60 HDR, file size around 60 gigabytes. Main campaign takes 35 to 40 hours, platinum closer to 60. Metacritic averages 82, and IGN scored it 7.8, calling it messy but magnetic. It's less about jump scares and more about loneliness, the quiet terror of the empty road. Ride slow, conserve gas, and never underestimate a horde. When 500 freakers come over the hill at once, you'll realize freedom is a luxury. Days Gone proves that sometimes the hardest thing to kill is hope.
you're afraid to be here. You're afraid to be.
It looks like a PlayStation 1 classic that took a time machine to 2025. Crow Country recreates the look and feel of 90s survival horror while adding modern polish and cinematic lighting. You play as Mara Forrest, investigating a deserted amusement park frozen in time. It's part puzzle, part combat, all atmosphere. The game was free through PS Plus Extra in September and still haunts the catalog. Runs at native 4K 60 HDR with DualSense feedback. Story takes 6 to 8 hours. Completionists may double that. Metacritic, 83. Critics called it a love letter to retro fear. It doesn't need photoreal graphics to make you sweat. Its poly faces and fixed angles are scarier because your imagination fills the blanks. Think Resident Evil 2 with a roller coaster ticket. The past is back, and it brought fear with it. War is hell, and this game means it. Conscript drops you into the mud and madness of World War I, alone in a labyrinth of trenches filled with monsters that may be more human than they look. Top-down combat meets resource management and classic survival horror. You'll scavenge ammo, solve puzzles, and fight panic in real time. Released this year and free on PS Plus Extra, it's small in size but huge in tension. Performance hits 4K 60 HDR on PS5, file size under 10 gigs. Story length 8 to 10 hours, platinum around 15. Metacritic 84. Reviewers praised its focus and fear. Every echo in the tunnels feels like someone whispering your name. No jump scares, no hand-holding, just slow dread and death by design. It's like Resident Evil meets 1916. And the result is brilliantly bleak. Midnight in Gallows Creek, 1987. You're Forrest Nash, a former big city DJ now running a sleepy, late-night radio show.
What the hell?
But tonight, the phone lines light up. A killer called the Whistling Man is loose, and every call could mean someone's life. Killer Frequency turns a simple broadcast into a night of terror. You guide terrified callers through deadly situations, using only your wits, studio equipment, and quick thinking. Read old police files, check maps, and give directions in real time. One wrong answer, and the line goes silent. No guns, no monsters, just the pressure of keeping people alive while your own fear builds with every ring. The story runs about 4 hours with multiple endings, crisp 4K HDR visuals, and haunting 3D audio on PS5. Critics praised its originality and voice acting, calling it a horror game powered by tension, not terror. It's free with PS Plus Extra and perfect for players who love clever, story-driven scares. So, grab your headset, cue the next song, and pray you don't get the wrong number.
What the hell?
It's free, it's official, and it's deeply disturbing. Silent Hill, the short message, revives the legendary franchise with a modern twist on psychological fear. You play Anita, a teenager haunted by guilt and digital ghosts inside a crumbling apartment tower. Every room reflects her trauma. Every text message another knife to the mind. Developed by Konami and written by Ryukishi07, it runs free on PS5 with HDR10 and DualSense support. No combat, only escape. Length about 2 hours. File size under 8 gigabytes. Metacritic, 86. Critics praised its storytelling and urban symbolism. It's short, poetic, and uncomfortably real. The kind of horror that whispers instead of screams. And the best part? You can play it tonight for $0. Just remember, sometimes the scariest ghosts are the ones typing back. 13 years after the original, Alan Wake 2 doesn't just return, it evolves. This isn't just a sequel, it's a symphony of fear, light, and storytelling. You play dual protagonists, writer Alan Wake trapped inside a nightmare dimension, and FBI agent Saga Anderson uncovering murders in a rain-soaked Pacific Northwest town. Reality bends. Pages rewrite themselves. Shadows have teeth. Released in 2023 and now free through PS Plus Essential this Halloween, it's a must-download. Runs at 4K, HDR with performance and quality modes, adaptive triggers, and near-instant loads. Main campaign lasts about 18 to 20 hours, Platinum closer to 40. File size, 85 gigs. Metacritic, 89. IGN, 9 out of 10, calling it the most cinematic horror ever made. This is horror elevated. Art direction, sound, and writing all fused into one fever dream. It's not about surviving, it's about understanding the darkness. Remedy crafted a modern masterpiece, and it's completely free this month. When the light flickers, don't look away, because the story's writing itself, and you're next on the page. So there you have it. 10 free nightmares for PS5 this Halloween. From the haunted streets of Silent Hill to the pages of Alan Wake 2. Every one of these games proves you don't need to spend money to lose sleep. Which one are you downloading first? Drop your pick in the comments and hit subscribe for more cinematic reviews, PS Plus updates, and performance breakdowns every week. Right here on PS5 Gameplay Hub. Play scared, play smart, and happy Halloween.